students. Today we are going to do invitations. I'm sure you know what invitations are. Invitations are when you have to invite people for certain occasions, and they are part of your class 12 CBSE writing skills syllabus. They come under short writing tasks. Other short writing tasks that you have are notice writing, poster writing and advertisements. And I want to tell you here that invitations of two kinds, formal and informal. And you also have to study their replies. A formal invitation is given a formal reply, and an informal invitation is given an informal reply. So let's study invitation through this presentation video.
Invitations, formal and informal. Formal invitations to be written in 50 words and are for 4 marks. Points to remember: you should write formal invitations in the third person and no abbreviations are to be used. Keep the invitation center aligned. Do not put punctuation marks at the end of lines. There should be a well-defined layout. Presentation should be in a single sentence. Each entry should be mentioned in a separate line. In RSVP, write the address and telephone number at which invitee may contact for any queries. In official invitations, you can give the specific time by which the guests are to be seated, the name of the chief guest, program if needed. You can write valid for 2 only at the end in case you want to limit the number attending the gathering. The content and style should be appropriate to the demand of the question. Write the invitation in a box. Some of the important information can be highlighted. Points at a glance. Use a well-defined layout that you see in invitation cards for functions like annual day, wedding ceremony, inaugural function, etc. Use the third person in formal invitations. Give important details like who is inviting. The invitation usually begins with the name, designation of persons inviting. What is the occasion? Date, time and venue. Name of the chief guest, special invitee, person who will give away the prizes or inaugurate the function. Program if needed. RSVP. Address and telephone number at which invitee may contact for any further information. Write the invitation in a rectangular box. Important. A formal invitation must be given a formal reply, accepting the invitation or expressing inability to attend using the third person.
7 o'clock.
Now let's start looking at invitations and how to write one. So the first example, which is fully solved, a formal invitation. And the question: the Literary Society of Mount Carmel School is organizing a lecture session by Nobel Prize winner writer V.S. Naipaul. The president of the society asks Priya Singh, the secretary, to draft a formal invitation to be sent out to various schools. Draft Priya's invitation. Let's look at the invitation that Priya drafts. The Literary Society, Mount Carmel School, Delhi, has great pleasure in inviting you to a lecture by eminent writer and Nobel Prize winner V.S. Naipaul in the school auditorium on Friday, 20th August at 10:30 a.m. On one side we write RSVP, that is whom to contact, Priya Singh, Secretary, Literary Society, Mount Carmel School, and the phone number is there. The program on the other side, program starts at 10 a.m. and the lecture will be at 10:30 a.m. Look at an actual invitation card. This is the invitation card of annual day celebration at KV Andrewsganj, New Delhi. Read it, children, and then try to understand how we write an actual invitation and compare it with the points that are there for you to take care of when you write invitations. Another example of a real invitation card from another KV. This is KV Moscow, which is called the Embassy of India School. Read this invitation, children, to understand a little more on the style of writing invitations. And you'll notice that there's a little difference in this card and the one that you saw in KV Andrewsganj. You'll see that the invitation is on the one side and the program is on the other side. And you can switch sides also. You can write the invitation on the left and the program on the right as you may wish. Another example of formal invitation which is partly solved. Let me read out the question. St. Xavier's Convent, Kanpur is going to celebrate its annual prize distribution function in August. As Mr. S.L. Verma, the Vice Principal of the school, draft an invitation in not more than 50 words to be sent to the guests and parents. Now here's the invitation. Children, as you can see, it is partly solved and the hints are given on the right side. So I'm not going to read out this invitation as you are going to fill in with the hints and then complete your invitation. So try this out, children. You can start writing, and as you reach a blank, look at the hints and fill in your invitation. After completing it also, read it once to check whether you have filled in the right points. Recapitulation, students, of the value points for an invitation card. Name of the invitee, address if required, date, time, venue, chief guest, or name of persons if required, RSVP, etc. Now look at this simplest form of invitation card. I would suggest all of you should learn it up so that any invitation question that comes, you can use this model and then use your creativity and write out a beautiful invitation card. The invitation goes like this. The principal, staff and students of Mena Model School cordially invite you to the annual English play, Fiddler on the Roof, on Saturday, 22nd August 2020 at 6 p.m. in the school auditorium. Mrs. Uma Ramaswamy, renowned theatre person, has very kindly consented to be the chief guest. RSVP, manager, and his phone number is there. Formal invitation in the letter style. We write formal invitations in the formal letter style when we have to invite one person, either as a guest, as a chief guest, as guest of honor, or special invitee. Let's look at the question. As Mr. H.R. Dubey, Secretary, Department of Culture, Ministry of Human Resource Development, draft an invitation for Mr. O.P. Sehgal, Director, Sangeet Natak Academy, in not more than 50 words for the folk dance festival to be held on the eve of the Republic Day at the Talkatora Indoor Stadium. We start with the sender's address, then the date, address of the addressee, subject, salutation, sir, then your body of the invitation. The Department of Culture, Ministry of Human Resource Development, Government of India is organizing a folk dance festival on 25th January 2020 at the Talkatora Stadium at 6 pm. His Excellency Shri Ramnath Kovind, President of India, has kindly consented to be the chief guest. Your gracious presence is solicited. Kindly make it convenient to attend. And then the complimentary close. As in a formal letter, we close it with yours faithfully. Then the signature, the name, designation, and the department. We come to replies now. Formal reply to be written in 50 words are for 4 marks. Points to remember: use the third person. No need to sign at the end. When accepting, confirm dates and time. Venue need not be confirmed. If declining, give the reason. Give date and address at top left hand corner. Formal invitation must be given a formal reply. Example of a formal reply of acceptance. This is partly solved, students, with hints. So let us first read the question. Let's read the hints and then we'll fill in the reply. I'd like you to do it along with me. Question. Imagine you are Mr. A.K. Sharma and have received an invitation card from Mr. O.P. Mehra, Principal of St. Xavier's Convent, Kanpur, to attend the school's annual prize distribution function. Draft a formal reply, number 1 of acceptance and number 2 of refusal in not more than 50 words. Look at the hints. Annual prize distribution function, it along with Air Force Auditorium to accept the thanks kind invitation. Now, when we begin the reply, we begin with the date, a short address, and then with the reply. Mr. A.K. Sharma thanks Mr. O.P. Mehra, Principal St. Xavier's Convent, for his kind invitation to the annual prize distribution function to be held on 8th August 2020 in the Air Force Auditorium, MG Road, Kanpur. He is glad to accept the invitation and will attend it along with the Vice Principal, Mrs. Anju Mehra. Formal reply of refusal. This is also partly solved with hints. Let's do it together. Let's read the hints first. His kind invitation, regrets to inform, able to attend, Mr. A.K. Sharma, St. Xavier's Convent, on 8th August 2020, a previous engagement. We begin with the date, then the brief address, and then the reply. Mr. A.K. Sharma thanks Mr. O.P. Mehra, Principal, St. Xavier's Convent, for his kind invitation to the annual prize distribution function to be held on 8th August 2020. He regrets that he shall not be able to attend the function due to a previous engagement. He wishes the students the very best on this momentous occasion. Now, children, always remember that when you write a reply of refusal, at the end you must always wish, either if it is from a school, wish the students, or if it is from another organization, then you should wish the people inviting you the very best for their function. Two examples, students, for you to attempt on your own. They are without hints. And therefore, as you read the replies, also keep filling in the words that you think should be added. As Mr. O.P. Sehgal, Director, Sangeet Natak Academy, New Delhi, draft a reply of acceptance and of refusal to Mr. H.R. Dubey's invitation to the Folk Dance Festival. You have to write a formal reply of acceptance and a formal reply of refusal. At the moment, you can do it in the presentation and later write it down in your notebooks. Informal invitations to be written in 50 words for 4 marks. Points to remember: use the first person, I and we, not he, she, or they. Do not end with RSVP. Top left hand corner, address and telephone number of sender along with the date. The address and telephone number are optional. The language is more warm and personal. Begin with dear and the name. Date, time, and venue of the function are mentioned. The last sentence suggests that a reply is expected. Example number 1, informal invitation. We begin with the date, then, my dear Susan, I shall be very grateful if you join me for dinner on Saturday, the 27th August 2020 at 8 pm. I am throwing a housewarming party. Please let me know by phone if you'll be able to come. I hope you won't disappoint me. Yours sincerely, Vivian. It is difficult for Susan to accept Vivian's invitation. Therefore, she writes out a reply of refusal. Because she has received an informal invitation, so she'll be writing an informal reply. You begin with the address, which is optional, the date, then salutation. Dear Vivian, thank you very much for your kind invitation to the housewarming party at your place. It would have been a pleasure to see you, but I am sorry that I won't be able to attend since I am visiting my cousins over the weekend. Hope the party is a success and your stay in the home is truly enjoyable. Best wishes, Susan. Another example of informal invitation. We begin with the date. Dear seniors, we the students of class 11th Arts, Science and Commerce stream cordially invite you all for a cultural program come send off farewell party in the main hall at 11 am on 24th February 2021. Kindly stay for lunch and photo session thereafter. Class 11th students. Now the reply of this will obviously be of acceptance. Dear juniors, many thanks for your kind invitation to the farewell party being hosted in our honor on 24th February 2021 at 11 am. Of course, we'll be delighted to come. Many thanks for thinking of us. We look forward to having an enjoyable time. Class 12th students. Next example of informal invitation, which is partly solved with hints. So, children, you can keep filling as I also keep filling here in the presentation. Question: you are Harshita. Your birthday is falling in the coming week. Invite your best friend for a movie show and a treat thereafter. Let's look at the hints first. To see you, matinee show. Let me know, my birthday. You could join, confirm. Begin with the address, the date. Dear Neha, it would be great if you could join me for the matinee show of Harry Potter and the Order of the Phoenix at Chanakya Theatre on 11th August 2020. It's my birthday that day. We'll later have burgers and ice creams at Nirala's restaurant. Please confirm over the telephone. Hoping to see you. Harshita. Informal replies of acceptance and refusal. First of acceptance, these are Neha's reply to Harshita's invitation. Begin with the address, the date. Dear Harshita, thank you very much for your invitation on your birthday. It would be great to watch Potter's latest movie with you and enjoy the food later. I'll be delighted to come. See you on 11th then, Neha. Now the informal reply of refusal. Begin with the address, date. Dear Harshita, many thanks for your invitation for the movie show and the very tempting treat on your birthday. I'd have loved to come, but I have my English unit test the next day, so I won't be able to join you. Best wishes for your birthday in advance. Hope you have a wonderful day with your family and friends. Neha. Here, children, what I want to remind you is that when Neha is refusing the invitation, then you must always remember that you have to wish the person for the occasion and the celebration that you are being invited for. That is why Neha at the end she wishes Harshita. She says, though I won't be able to join you, but hope you have a wonderful day with your family and friends. Children, this you have to remember. Questions for practice, which are for homework. Students, after you complete writing all invitations and their replies, then after that you'll be practicing these questions. Do not do them at one go. You can do 2 questions at a time and take your time to complete all the questions because this will give you very good practice on invitations. Thank you, students. Hope you'll be able to write out good invitations now. Practice well and do well in your exams.